the game. So the Starcraft 2 editor is going to be more powerful than the Warcraft 3 one. That's something we want to make sure we enable the mod community to even do more stuff. And, I totally brain farted and I forgot when the next panel is, but I know that the Star 2 panel that Dustin's doing, they're going to actually show some features from the editor. So if there's any map makers in the audience, make sure that you check that out because they were going to talk a little more in depth about the editor itself. But, we've kind of always taken this tact on the RTS games to have really powerful editors that are really easy to use. And the editors that we put out there, it really is the tool that we use to build the campaign. So there really isn't going to be that much that anything that we do, you should be able to do within the editor too. Plus a lot more. There's actually a lot of things we added to the editor intentionally just to make sure that even functionality we don't need, like things like items, because we don't really need a whole item system within Star 2, but we still want to make sure that that functionality was in there so that people would be able to make really cool maps with it. And then we also have this concept called map publishing. So map publishing, going all the way back to that always connected experience idea, one of the things that's really cool is once you actually make a map, you can publish it up to the service, and from right there, make it so everyone can get a hold of it, which has a few different really cool ramifications. One thing is you can download maps without having to join a game, so you don't have to have that Dota getting kicked experience all the time. Another thing that's really cool about it is when you actually pull up a list of all the different maps, it doesn't have to be maps that are just on your local drive. You can actually browse all the maps on the service. You don't have to wait to see just which games are open or anything like that. You'll be able to see all the maps that are actually currently up on Battle.net, everything that's been published. So, that'll also be a really, really cool feature. And then the big thing I want to talk about is something that is a little bit further in the future. And when I say the future, what I really mean is not at the launch of Starcraft 2. So even though I know we've already put Starcraft 2 into the next year, but I want to make sure that I got up here and talked about some of the things that we're doing for the mod community that's going to be even beyond the launch of it. So we have this concept of the Starcraft 2 marketplace. And, again, if you look at Warcraft 3, it was really, really difficult to find maps and really kind of find out what's out there. The only thing you really had was the open game list, and as I kind of illustrated early on, that open game list might only display, 12 different versions of Dota. So we want to have this big marketplace area where you can actually see all the different maps and make it easy to browse, and then we want to have kind of this concept of ratings, allow you to comment on the maps. So really the whole community that's playing all these maps, you'll be able to see all the maps that are up there. They'll be rated by popularity. They'll be rated by like a star system, and you'll be able to browse them however you want. You'll be able to search for maps, all those sorts of things. And then the really big thing is we're going to have this concept of free maps and premium maps. So there's going to be plenty of cool free maps out there still, but also you're going to be able to have maps up there that are for pay. And the portion of the revenue is going to go to the map creator. So if you make a really cool map with all original content that's awesome, you can put it up onto the service and actually make money on your map. So the question might be raised, why would we want to do something like this? And it really is aimed at making just this awesome, awesome map community. Because we've looked at other different gaming communities out there, and one of the things that we thought was really interesting, if you looked at what happens when people actually have a budget, look at the sorts of things they can create. Because if you look at something like Warcraft 3, all the mods were really cool, but almost all of them were really just using assets that we had already created. Because no one can go out there and hire a bunch of artists and programmers to do all